Let's go a little into the story of Patanjali, because that's very mystic also. You have, of course, Patanjali as that person which gave us that knowledge. In the book we have mentioned the sutras of Patanjali, but of course we speak about India and fairy tales and mystic stories about gods and goddesses, and how Patanjali came now as a saint to us on earth to give us that knowledge. So the little story behind that, I will make it in a short way to explain you a little the background of that you understand where and why he came to us, was that Shiva, the god of destruction, but also justice, and that destruction stands actually for, if we destruct our negativity, we can start something new, which is positive. So he is doing that cosmic dance in the universe, and that keeps the universe flowing, actually. So he did his cosmic dance, and his good friend, Lord or God Vishnu, which is the protector of that universe, was looking at this dance from Shiva. And he got very heavy and like under ecstasies, like really he could not control himself anymore, just watching out that cosmic dance, which are actually the asanas, from Shiva. And Vishnu, the god of protection of that universe, he was always laying in the milk ocean on a snake, and that snake was called Adiseya. So when that snake, he was always protecting his god Vishnu, when he noted that Vishnu was feeling so heavy and he could not react anymore, but full of pleasure and joy, I tell you, like ecstasies, divine ecstasies, don't mix that up, then he said to Shiva, there is something wrong with Vishnu. And Shiva stopped his dance. In a moment, he stopped his dance. Vishnu felt light again and normal. And then he said, no, that was pure pleasure. I was just feeling in each cell of my body that cosmic dance, and it has such an effect on me that I could not even move the small finger anymore. But it was pure pleasure. So Adiseya said to Shiva, oh Shiva, you have to learn me that cosmic dance. I want to give that pleasure to Vishnu every single day. And then Shiva said, that's my cosmic dance. I can't give you that just like that knowledge. And then he said, yeah, but let's see. There is quite suffering on that planet Earth there. And we should actually give you that dance, but not just that you give it to Vishnu as a personal yippee. No. If you learn that dance, then you have to perfectionate it. You have to give my knowledge further, later than when you have perfected it, to all that human beings which we need to protect from suffering, and sometimes from themselves and from body and mental imbalances. Okay, so I accept. You learn that cosmic dance now, and when you are once perfect, then we will send you on planet Earth that you give that knowledge further. So in the meantime, there was Gonika. She was a very, very spiritual and religious lady in India. And she had been every day to the temple giving offerings. She was very poor. She had not really much to offer. But she came every day and gave a handful of water to Surya, the sun god. And she spoke every day that wish out to have a baby boy, that her lineage of the family is not getting lost. And she was very alone. And she knew also that with that age, she needs help and support. And Surya, the sun god, was not able to fulfill her that wish. So he called Shiva and said, Shiva, Gonika is again in my temple. She needs somebody by her side, that she gets older, that the lineage of that spiritual person is not getting lost. And she is asking for a little boy. And I'm not able to to fulfill her that wish. But you have an open bill with me. Can you do that for me? And Shiva said, okay, good, I will. Why not? I will do that. And actually have something in my mind. I will then, that snake, which have learned my cosmic dance, I have anyway the plan to send him to Earth. So what we will do is we will reincarnate a little boy, which is actually the snake which have learned the cosmic dance, giving her to Gonika. Then she has a spiritual family member on her side, who the lineage is not getting lost. I have then also now that positive point that I can bring all that knowledge from my cosmic dance, which is the asanas, to that human beings to keep body and mind healthy and find a way out of suffering with that. And this way you are happy and I am happy. Okay, so Gonika with her hand of water in the temple, praying again next day to Surya, saying, please, please give me a child which can grow up with me. The spiritual reason is not getting lost of my life. And from one second to the other, she noted a movement in her hand. So she looked into her hand and she found a little snake, because Aditya was a snake. So the snake very quickly crawled up, fell on the ground, became a little boy. And the little boy looked up to her and he said, Gonika, would you accept me as your little boy? She said, of course I will. I love you and I will call you Patanjali. So this is now the story. Like Patanjali came actually after that reincarnating from that snake into that little boy to us. Then he growed up to a very, very knowledgeable saint. And then he has written the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and there is where we have that 8 pathway, that Ashtanga Yoga coming from, and now you know a little story behind.